because the intention behind everything is what gives the action, is what gives the power. So if I'm sitting and I'm making these decisions with the intention to birth something that is inspiring to me, then it's making sure that I don't just birth something because I want to reach a result. The result is the birth. I think that's the real deal. What's happening? It's Jasiah, and excuse me. Today, I can feel something in the air. I can feel change imminent within my life, within the moment that I'm existing in. And I know it. I just know it. With that being said, though, today I would love to remind not just everybody, but myself, sweet tea. Love sweet tea. Woo! But besides that, creation is an invitation to that of which is the unknown. Okay? And what that means is when we are inspired to create anything at all, it is what I like to believe is a direct download from the universe, a direct download from that of which is higher than our physical body, that of which is from realms we don't necessarily understand. And we don't have to understand for us to fulfill the responsibility that we feel called to fulfill. And I say this because a strike of inspiration is where it starts, right? We get inspired by something outside of us that makes us feel that we should create. And within creating, it is quite literally taking something that does not exist and making it come to this physical reality as a creation. But what makes it so unique and what makes it so different from everything else that is created is the person who is the creator. So the person who brings the creation to life takes what they are inspired by because it is an invitation and they make something exist. And that is magic. To create something, ooh, excuse me, confirmation burp. That is magic. You are magic when you take something that you are inspired by and you create something out of that inspiration, and you use authenticity, you use your perspective, your experiences, the version of yourself that you are right now, and you put all of that into your creation, you create magic. And it's magic because it's something that didn't exist, but you made it exist by simply taking what you're inspired by and bringing it to life. You breathe life into all of that you create. You are the creation. You are the creator. Oh, you are the creation. Because you are the creation. You are the universe's greatest creation. You are the universe's creation. And so when you embody the mode where you are creating and you are a creator, you are deciding to co-create an existence with the universe. Every single time you're sitting here and you're inspired, and within you being inspired, you release that inspiration into fruition. So it's so simple, or it seems so simple for me to just say create, 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 especially when I feel as though I'm in a state of always wanting to create. But I have been learning how to not overextend myself and make creation feel like an obligation, because creation is meant to strike when it is inspired, when you are in an energy of that desire to create. Never putting myself in a mindset where I have to create, I have to make something happen, because I feel as though an obligation would take away the magic that exists within creating. Because creating to me is creating when I feel inspired, creating when I feel as though something outside of me wants to be birthed, and I'm the person who is going to birth it. Birthed it? Okay, but creation is never an obligation, but instead it will only ever be birthed through me when I feel inspired. And that's because I not only owe it to myself, but I owe it to the creation that it comes to fruition when it's time. It comes to fruition when the moment is right and the divine timing has played out for it to be released. If I was to create, 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 and that had the intention that I want to create because I want to simply get closer to the goal, then that defeats the beauty and the magic of creation. It's no longer creating because you're inspired, but it's creating because you want to get closer to a goal. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to get closer to a goal, so you create, create, create. But the issue with that, again, is taking the magic out of only creating when you're inspired. And I think that's the beauty of creating, is the inspiration that drives you to want to create. It gives you that just desire to want to birth something that does not exist in this world. And so that's where I stand when it comes to creation is not an obligation, because it's truly allowing myself the beauty of balance, allowing myself the beauty to know that if I feel called to do it, if I feel as though I'm inspired to go and create something, then that's the moment that I'm going to create it. But if I take a creation and I simply just want to create it with the intention that, okay, I want to create this because I want to get closer to my goal, then it's depriving myself of the inspiration that comes behind that. And I know that one point in my life that I'm at is never allowing anything outside of me to feel forced. I never allow anything to feel like it's necessary. I just do not resonate with any of that. I just don't. I don't resonate with feeling as though I need to do anything, because me existing will always be more than enough. Me simply just being able to experience life for what it looks like and for what it is will always be enough, because my only responsibility down to the core is to be here in this moment, to be fully existing and experiencing everything that is within my reality, whether that's touching, feeling, tasting, hearing, seeing, all of that. I meant to just experience in the moment, because that is what I was placed upon this earth, this universe to do. And in me doing that, I am already fulfilling my greatest purpose, to live a life where I enjoy the experience. That is always going to be the main purpose of it. So if I know that, then it's not wanting to chase my goals. It's not wanting to starve myself dry of inspiration because I want to attain the next check on my list. That checklist is going to get completely checked off at the end of the day. So what do I do in every moment to make sure that I don't feel as though I'm rushing myself to get it done? What do I do in the moment to make sure that I feel as though I'm only ever making these decisions, only ever making these actions with intention, because living a life with intention is not as easy as it is said. Living a life with intention is ensuring that every single decision you make, every single point that you put across is one that is not feeding anybody else but yourself, because the intention behind everything is what gives the action, is what gives the power. So if I'm sitting and I'm making these decisions with the intention to birth something that is inspiring to me, then it's making sure that I don't just birth something because I want to reach a result. The result is the birth. The result is me feeling inspired, so I decide to take action. That is what the end result is. It's never the physical, it's never the byproduct. In an example would be, okay, I'm making these videos, 1010 as I looked up turning to 1011. An example would be, I'm making these videos so that I can reach a certain number of people. And so because I have in my mind, I want to reach a certain amount of viewers, I keep pumping these videos out. I keep creating. And that's my intention. My intention is the result that I will reach a certain amount of viewers. But that's not where I'm at. Where I'm at is I create these videos when I feel inspired, and I release them when I feel inspired to release them, because the goal is to just create. The result that I'm looking for is to just create, to be a creator. It's not the byproduct, because the byproduct would be all of the viewers simply just gravitating towards me to watch me. That is what a byproduct of me creating is. It's not I get to get all these viewers and that is my end goal. I really, truly know that what I'm saying makes sense. I know it. And I trust that, because it's not ever I am looking for a result, but instead the result is a byproduct of everything that I pump out, of everything that I create. Everything that I bring to fruition is the byproduct of my authenticity and the inspiration that I feel when it comes to wanting to create. I feel like that may have been a lot of repetition, but it felt really good to sit here and reiterate that to myself and remind myself that, because I have been in a state where I want everything that I want right now, everything that I desire. I want it here, right now, physically, touching, tasting, feeling, seeing. But it's okay to simply just exist. And it's okay to just allow myself to feel that feeling of what it would feel like if I did have everything I wanted before it's even here. And to only create when I feel inspired, not when I want to get closer to the goal, because that has never been the goal. It has never been the goal, and it will never ever be the goal. It's simply just allowing the growth to come when it's meant to come, and the growth to grow when it's meant to grow. I'll never rush my own growth, because I would never ever rush a plant to start blooming before it's meant to bloom. I would never make a butterfly come out of the cocoon before it's fully developed. Therefore, I give myself that grace. Excuse me. You know, I'm gentle, I'm understanding, and I'm loving to myself. And it's important that we give ourselves that in every moment, because the only purpose is to just exist. But take it a step further and start creating. Be a creator. Be that of which is magic. Be that of which is the universe's greatest creation, a creator. Thank you. Beautiful day. So blessed to have just been given yet another day to experience this reality, regardless of how it may look, to just be alive. Beauty in that. So, with that being said, stay full of love, stay full of hope, and stay full of no fear, because fear is the opposite contrast of love. It is. It really is. And I can get into that. I really can. Fear is the opposite of love. Because what are we fearing? What are we fearing for? There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be scared of. Just love it. Just love that feeling of fear. I feel like I need to hear that. So I said that. But yeah. Mwah. Later, loves. Mwah.